That's good.
Hi, I'm Lonna Kelly, and this is Hudson Valley Art Speak. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we're going to be speaking to Franc Palaia. He is an artist, a photographer, a sculptor, muralist. He's got his hands in a lot of different pots. And thanks for coming today, Franc.
Thanks, Lana. Thanks. Great to be here.
You're welcome. One of the things that we were talking about before is how long you've been focused on art.
Well, since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I had one art class, the first art class in kindergarten, and ended up, to make a long story short, I was the only one that did the art lesson correctly, and the teacher made such a big deal about it, and really kind of isolated me out and just went on and on.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, gee, that was pretty easy, and I'm getting this much attention for doing something that I thought was pretty easy. I thought, I'm going to keep going with this.
Yeah.
So,
Put you on your life's path.
yeah, it really did. It's I was lucky, actually. You know, a lot of people go decades without knowing what to do.
That's
so
true.
I was really relieved.
Yeah, you must have been a pretty, had great hand coordination for a little guy, though, to be able to.
Yeah, it was drawing an apple.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And the teacher said, start from the stem and go around like this, and go round and round and round. Don't go like this, just fill in the space. I was the only one that did it right. So, and it really did look better. You know, it looked three-dimensional, and
Yeah.
and so thought just follow directions and get all this attention.
Not bad.
What's not to like
Right,
about this?
yeah.
So
So
here
is
I am.
that the first artwork for your mom's refrigerator?
Yeah, I don't know if it probably made it, but
Yeah.
I kind of wish I still had it.
Yeah, that would be
That
fun.
would have been nice, but
Yeah.
who would have known then? you
Yeah,
know?
so you've gone from apples to making these wonderful suitcases that I've been seeing around Poughkeepsie for a while that you do.
Yeah.
Tell me about them.
Well, I don't make the suitcases, but I turn a lot of found objects, recycled objects, into art by repurposing them. Around 1990, I started the idea that I wanted to make light boxes, photo light boxes, because I do photography and sculpture and a lot of different things. And I wanted to use recycled materials because when I priced the light box, a photo light box, you know, the regular square metal boxes, they were way too expensive for me at the time, and they still are. So I figured, well, actually I can make a light box out of anything that has volume, and that I can cut into it and insert an image in there. And so I started with suitcases. I had some old suitcases laying around, and they were perfect. And then from there I started using toys and lamps and appliances and crates and trunks and car parts and entire cars eventually. And now I'm making outdoor sculpture with found objects. So I'm still doing it, but just using different materials.
Yeah. Yeah, and how do people display them if they purchase them?
Well,
what do you find
a suitcase,
people doing?
you know, it's pretty easy to carry, obviously.
Yeah.
You can put it on a table, you can put it on the floor, you can hang it on the wall. I have all different variations of these suitcases. So, you know, some are stacked on top of each other. I think I have an image of three kind of suitcase towers.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And then the images usually relate to the container, or they are kind of ironically the opposite of the container. For example, with the suitcases, I usually have exotic travel locations.
Right.
So it's like, you know, you don't have to go to Rome. You can just sort of buy my light box and look at the image of Rome and save you a lot of trouble, you know.
A lot of money? Well, maybe not.
And what's nice, I like the fact that the found object photo sculptural light boxes are perfectly fine in light, in the daylight or under light, and then they also light up at night so you can enjoy them in the dark.
Right, right.
So
yeah.
you have like a double whammy.
Right, right. And you're also a muralist, and I know you've done a pretty incredible mural in the town of Poughkeepsie.
Yes, I started painting murals about 20 years ago also, and I like the fact that a mural is outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, artists always want exposure. When you have an exhibit in a gallery, maybe a few hundred people see it if you're
Right.
lucky, or 1,000 maybe. But outdoors, you've got an audience of millions, and for 20 years, usually murals last 20 years. So it's a great way to get exposure, really. And it's also, I like murals because they're part of the landscape. They're physically, literally part of the landscape. And so they relate to people in different ways than a painting in a gallery. You know, most people don't go to galleries.
That's very true.
So I love to hear people's expressions and comments when they see a mural, because you're getting it from everybody. And sometimes I learn more from comments from average street people than I do from highfalutin art critics, you know, who are jaded and,
Yeah.
you know. So that's why I like murals, and I just like being out there working in the sunlight and in the daylight and the warm weather. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can only paint murals a few months out of the year.
Well, that's true, yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah. But so murals are a type of public art, and you also do tours of public art sites in Poughkeepsie?
When I moved to Poughkeepsie about 12 years ago from New Jersey, I noticed that there was a lot of public art right in downtown Poughkeepsie that not very many people were ever talking about or mentioning. So, and since I make public art, and I had several murals in Poughkeepsie, I kind of created a tour. It's a 2-hour walking tour, and it includes historical murals, contemporary murals, sculpture, historical monuments, even architecture I talk about. And I've been doing it for 7 years, and it's fun. I do groups with 5 people, 20 people, students, senior citizens. It's really fun. It's a very leisurely 2-hour tour, and I do them from April through October.
It sounds like it would be very interesting. Do you go by that small sculpture park? And
yes, unfortunately they took all the sculptures away the other day, a couple of weeks ago. But there are always new pieces that pop up and take their place. And I'm looking forward to, there's a new sculpture coming to Poughkeepsie at the Caneen Hackett Art Center, and it's an Ed Wood sculpture. He's a very unusual filmmaker from the 60s, 70s, who was, I guess you could say, the first transvestite movie director, you know, and he's from Poughkeepsie.
Oh, really?
And he's quite famous, you know. Johnny Depp played him in the movie.
Yes.
So it'll be great to have an Ed Wood sculpture as part of my tour, and it's right in the area where my tour is. So.
It'll be outside?
Yes, next to the Caneen Hackett Theater.
Yeah. You know, every year that there's a worldwide photo walk. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's in October.
Yeah, I have heard of it.
Yeah,
yes.
And you can sign up to be a host of the photo walk. And I did it one year in the Great Swamp, over the Swamp River. And, you know, people come and you take them on a walk. And
in a swamp?
Well, there was a boardwalk through the swamp, yeah. But you take them on a walk and you know, show them interesting things that they can photograph. And I thought it was so much fun because you had to, everybody around the world was doing it on the same day, thousands of people. So it might be a fun thing for you to do. Now, so you're doing some new work, some larger outdoor sculptural solar work.
Yes, I wanted to move my light boxes outside. I have great fun making them for indoors, but I wanted to be outside like the murals. So the only way you can illuminate anything without wires and extension cords is to use solar.
Right.
So I started small. I made a solar house sculpture, and that was outside behind Caneen Hackett Art Center as well for 1 year. and I had it at the Kingston Biennial, Sculpture Biennial, and several other places. And I kept going, using the solar panels with different materials. For this one here, the bus sign, I got commissioned from the Ulster County Transit Center to make a sign for their building in Kingston. So I used a solar panel to light up the bus sign. And I use passive solar as well, which is just sunlight passing through a wall or a window. With this piece here, I made a kind of a fake bus shelter, and uses passive solar, and it illuminates the photo of the cow there on one side of the bus shelter. And then I have some designs here in the middle of solar-powered bus shelters where the solar panels are on the roof. They light up LED lights, so it's self-sufficient pretty much, and 24/7 safety with the lights.
Yeah, yes.
And then I wanted to liven the bus shelters up a little bit, so I thought I would use my big Duratrans transparencies, which are big slides basically of photographic images. You put on the glass, and so you have artwork in the bus shelter. So they're like a little art gallery. While you're waiting for the bus, it's more interesting.
Definitely.
And kind of beautifies the area.
Yeah.
And so you have a self-contained, self-perpetuating little sculptural art space right there on the street.
Right. How long do you think, will the panels degrade in the weather?
Well, they're specially made, that's why they're called Duratrans. They're durable transparencies. They're the same kind of images that you see on bus station, train station advertisements.
Oh, yeah,
you know, for the movies and things.
Yep.
And so because the light is coming from behind the transparency, and then also the sunlight coming in the other side, so they're getting light from both sides. So they're made from specially made plastic. Photographs on plastic, on translucent plastic. That's what it is. So they last, you know, a while. They're not going to last forever, but they do last for years if you really need them to be there in there that long.
Yeah.
But the what my plan is to change the artwork on the bus shelters, you know, every 6 months or a year.
Oh, that would be great, because then it would just be a continuing show for people
it's a
who
new
go to
venue
see it.
for art.
Yeah.
It's a place where most people don't think of.
And there are no bus stops around here.
Well, it's more of an urban thing, you know, but we'll see. I mean, Wappinger Falls didn't have any until recently. They're getting 2, which I'm going to use as prototypes. And then if they work out well, if people like them, then they've got 7 or 8 more coming. So maybe we can do about 10
You're going to have to tell me where they are, because I'm going to want to go see them. Maybe I'll do a driving tour of the bus station.
A drive-by show, yes.
Yeah. So what's new? We don't have too much time left. So tell me what's new and where people can see some of your work right now.
Well, I have work in a group show at the WFG Gallery in Woodstocks, on the Main Street, WFG Gallery. That's a group show. I have suitcase light boxes in that show. And I'm painting a mural in New Jersey next week, but that's a little far.
Yeah, where is that in New Jersey?
In South Orange, New Jersey. Yeah, a little far, yeah. Actually, about an hour and a half from here. I have 2 sculptures, the solar windows piece in the upper left here. That one is in Catskill, or Mount Tremper rather, right off of Route 28. And then another piece I have in Vermont, similar to that.
That's great. And people can check out your website and see your work. Thank you so much, Frank.
Thanks, Lonna.
Really appreciate your coming today.
Thank you.